Hey everybody, welcome to an episode of the Patty G Show that's a little bit out of the norm. We are out here on 2nd Story in downtown with Tommy and David, learning about a new building development they've got going on with a whole bunch of different spaces, with a whole bunch of creative ideas, a bar at the bottom, a lounge up top. It's just a whole lot going on. More to come on this latest episode. But before we get to that, I want to give a big, wonderful shout out and thank you to the folks that bring you the show each and every week. Valaya Real Estate, Lakeman's Health Center, You Know Our Apparel. It's brought to you by Gentile Apparel. Without further ado, enjoy the show.
How did y'all get here in space?
I'm David and Kosha. Yes, sir. I've been in this building since 2017 because of Airbnbs. The 3rd floor is 8 walls, 6 of which are short charges there. I met the building owner, and we like the vision for short term rentals to take spaces. Basically, as they open up and start offering lots, like Intimidators with the bar center here. So we had a relationship with bar, a lot of late night drinking. The things that go into a bar, the mess of a broken elevator and all the things. So basically, I told Dan, I was like, if you do this every week, and that's like, well, the original bar, but you want an balcony board, like it's a pool bar. There's nothing like it on 3rd Street. So that's kind of the conversation. So David had a vision for something much larger in terms of a club, and at the intersection, we did this thing. Yeah, so I vacillate between tech entrepreneur, though, and nightlife, whatever they call me. And I just got out of Denver, didn't do the lease. Nothing bad happened. It was 5 years, no one come on options. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to 30 game in Tigerland. Doing the bar. I always wanted to be on 3rd Street. Like, the original business plan for Denver was a business plan I had pitched to grab a spot on 3rd Street. And I was in negotiations to get us on 3rd Street, but it just didn't feel right. So the 11th hour, I pulled the plug and ended up meeting Talley. And he showed me an office space downstairs. And everybody was looking at the new Toyota space. And it's cool, but it's already been a thing. It's been branded. It's just like that was shapeless. And the second I saw that office space, I invaded. This is it. I showed all the other owners of the city. They're like, no, that's too much work. And I was like, no, we gotta do it. He introduced me to Mr. Lynn, and it turns out I found well. Not only did he continue, he was like, no, what? We're going to make this happen. We're going to partner up. So, now we're able.
So you found an office building, so it's turned into a bar.
Yeah, it sounds very New York-like. It was a print shop since 2004, so it wasn't, faux walls everywhere and drop ceiling. It was very open. It had been a print shop for everything to come with QLS. So, yeah, QLS, quite open space. So you didn't have to come in and tear a whole lot down.
So you're not talking about the basement we found.
Oh, yeah.
There's a basement.
It was a basement.
Wait, it was?
It was a basement. So we were supposed to do the plumbing and right away downstairs. We found an 18 by 16 by 8 foot basement under where the balcony, where the bathroom is supposed to be.
Wait, 18 by 16 by 8?
Yes.
That's a serious space.
Yes. And all the engineers and architects were like, wait a second. Stop. Drop and roll. And we got all the different ways, like, what do we do here? We go on top of it? Oh, that's not safe. We put it with sand. Shit, that's not a good idea. You're going to have to fill it with concrete. So we had almost 30 yards in that bad boy.
So they wouldn't let you figure out a way to incorporate it in the space.
They didn't want us to cut any of the rebar. It just so happens all the plumbing that was supposed to go in that bathroom, it miraculously fit where the gaps in the rebar were. And you're talking about each grid of rebar like this. Right. So, grease down, it all worked out. So, but yeah, those kind of things with a building like this, it's always something new we're discovering. And I think a lot of times people on 3rd Street, they tell them stories about their truck, like, oh, yeah, we found the base in the wrong place, maybe. So, yeah.
It's not only the architectural drawings, any of the plans of the city. Now it's just so you just open like some plywood or something, and you see this
Let's sell concrete, though. And we thought we went down, and we thought, okay, that we're going to find dirt.
right.
And you see, like, oh, no, that's not dirt. She got a little bit more. And then you see it, like, start to fall apart itself. Like, oh, shit. Stop. Get off of the slab right now. Let's run the camera. So that's yeah.
Man, imagine what kind of room you would make unless you use the things.
Imagine how much higher our budget would have gone.
But our insurance paid over and having a basement in Louisiana.
He did say it was dry though, right? Like, that's the first question people ask is like, must have been damn, must be this. And it's like,
It was concreted off, everyone was coming in, thankfully from the top. And obviously all the walls were six.
it's kind of crazy.
That's why you see what absorbed.
Like, it's just been that more like, crazy. But I've been in some basement spaces in that city, and it's slimy and gross. Like, water's finding that.
Another little downtime.
Yeah, so y'all are being on 3rd Street, having a historic element. But I know you've got the Airbnbs here, so it's convenience, but what for you, 3rd Street specifically?
I see a lot of potential. It's had moments where you thought it was going to break through the ceiling, right? And a lot of times people have tried to compare it to Urban or 6th Street in Austin. When I talk with developers or politicians, we need to be our own thing, right? We can't mirror something else. Like, our downtown is so special that everybody on the street knows each other. All the business owners, like, everyone's in the business anymore. Like, there's something very unique about our downtown, and that this is the entire neighborhood. It's not like this part or like Little Italy in New York and then, Greenwich Village or something. No, this is the neighborhood. And for me, being able to bring big city elements to this place and kind of mobilize the neighborhood and get other people to come out, I haven't seen anyone do that. And I think just a business opportunity appealed to me once I started pulling it back, being a resident, talking with people, and discovering why a lot of places that had a lot of momentum were able to break through that ceiling. That's how I was like, I think there's opportunity. And I love it.
So being a resident, you said you found out what made people not be able to break out. What was it?
The fact that they weren't trying to work with the residents, right? I think that was a big thing. It started to look like a nuisance, that you're attracting something that we weren't expecting. When a lot of these apartment complexes were first built, they weren't trying to place apartments in their chambers. They were trying to get one to live downtown. And so when they attracted that first wave of residents or second wave, it's like, okay, we got them. But then when they see this heavy entertainment element, we weren't prepared for this. So now you got residents who are like, and they're having complaints, rightfully so. And I don't think there was the pathways of communication to effectively resolve that. So you've seen things with noise ordinance complaints. So just recently, in the last 2-3 years. Before that, we had other things. I mean, like the shooting. Well, it wasn't a shooting, but when the storefront had bullet holes in it, that was a really big deal. It's like, we're paying a premium to live downtown, but random gunshots in my retail storefront doesn't really make a lot of sense.
When I came back from LA, I was getting to know Baton Rouge again. Nothing's going on. 23, you come back in 30. So it was definitely more of age to be going to nice restaurants more, going out a bit more. Not the college version. But every bar on the street felt the same. It was catering to the same demographic and everything. When you see mothers and you see Dark 30 and you see somewhere taking its shot and giving a very different version, you had just all the successes that are now happening. everything is unique and it's not fighting on the same thing. But when you go Boudreaux Thibodeau's City Bar, The Office, if you really look at that version of 2010 to 2014, when I think there was a nice rising action, if you really look at it, it was marketing to the same demographic over and over and over and over again. So, very much intrigued to launch Second Story Pilot because of the success of things that don't just fit that Tigerland 3.0 model.
Right, I feel like the bar scene across Baton Rouge is how do we just get more people out of Tigerland, but still build it like that vibe. But, you know, to your point, that's not necessarily what people may want now.
Yeah.
They don't want that college vibe. They want something where, you know, as you're coming back in 30, where you can sit there and say, you know, we're not in our early 20s anymore, trying to, you know, throw our money together just for a bottle. It's like, well, we can handle it ourselves.
And the fact that you can park downtown with no parking space and walk to one of the best restaurants in Baton Rouge and go to have a cocktail before and then do the balance like when you change that. So,
It's like a balance in Tigerland.
but hey, it's it was trying to be Tigerland. Like Tigerland's ball. I mean, I don't remember it doing that well without young college kids. But now you see tents outside on game weekends, the way they've extended their audience's age quite a bit. It's gotten that fun.
I would say this, so being Tigerland adjacent, right? I hate to because I was in Tigerland. I was like, no, I'm not in Tigerland. I'm not going to stomp you out or anything. You wear white t-shirts. I have to give Mark and Jason a lot of credit. Fritz is an operation. And the way they run such a huge staff, so many people, their productions, I think they're world class. And best bar in the South or Barstool, I'm sure, whatever. But no, like knowing that watching that, that was a big inspiration because you wouldn't expect something like that in Tigerland. And we talk about things changing or things evolving. I think Tigerland has a lot, especially after the Reggie stuff. They've been trying to expand. There's a lot of money in that expansion. And so when you think about change, one thing I learned in finance, and it's all finance, but if you talk about derivative change, like what's going to be the change when this change occurs? And so I'm looking at change all over the city. I'm always trying to think what's going to be the derivative impact of that change. And so looking at Fred's, what they did with EDM, nobody's coming close to what they do with EDM. Their production, they want to expect the talent they did. Steve Aoki, right? Like it doesn't get any bigger than EDM. And Fred's, right? It's nothing. It's nothing. And watching the investment that they're putting in, they're climbing a market for EDM. And you see people go to these shows, they don't have anything like that in the city. I mean, the closest we get is New Orleans or Republic or Aurora or maybe Metro certain. That was a huge gap. And so when I thought about it, people get older and they don't want to be in Tigerland or they feel older, they have money to dispose of some of the less savory elements of Tigerland. I want to deal with that. I want to be able to walk in the bathroom and I'm not walking into that.
You don't walk out with like toilet paper on your feet, and you don't have a stick like with your shoes. You can walk. You don't have to say, "Wait, I got to call my going out shoes," and it's not clean, right? They're your dirty, yucky shoes that you wear on game day through parade grounds.
You're hitting the nail on the head right now. That metaphor is exactly for you. It's a vision that's about certain things. But when I realized that you got that EDM vibe, and they're going to be looking for the foils for us to friends. We got the idea model service, similar to what you see on Encore and Excess, or Live in Miami, or Vegas. And so now that you're older, college student, you graduated, you got money now, we have EDM for you on an elevated scale. And instead of people having to go to Tigerland to get their EDM fix, we now have an option right on 3rd Street in the center of how many hotels. So just made too much business sense for me.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the BKK crowd. Now you're bringing in from out of state or from out of city, and they're having a new experience of what downtown Baton Rouge should be. They remember it back in the old days with your Boudreaux and Thibodeau's and the one-offs that ended up closing it for so many years, and now it's let's see some more life and pop back in here. That's what y'all are doing right here.
For sure. lot of people my age group are older crowd for sure, right? 50, 60, 70, they've watched it fail. Yes, when we were your age, around 30, we thought we could too. It's a tough story to hear because it's just like that energy, so like risk averse. It's like the reason it's not happening is because someone's not making it happen, not putting getting together with a group. If you want downtown to be successful, which for Baton Rouge to be truly as successful as it could be, mid-city to downtown to LSU, creating that L, if you will, is literally everything you need to drive a much more successful Baton Rouge. You don't have to worry about anyone who wants to live further out. It's not a problem. It's just a thing in every city. So for the people who want to live city center, the best version of that, then build cool stuff. There will be people in mid-cities. I would argue it's like way more success. Watch that area raise the value a lot. You know, it used to be Capitol Heights when we went that direction of government, but it was 400,000. But then your government north towards Florida wasn't. Since 2017, I think you're looking at almost a 2x on the price of housing, just because of the investment coming from the city and the value of it, because of $0.1 million being spent on a beer garden. You know, when David Mason has got a beer garden, I might not know for exactly, but but when you look at that level, you can believe that that place is built immaculately, right? And they built it from the ground up.
I just never thought about how much of an investment.
How crazy do you have to be to say it is true? Right. How crazy do you have to be to go put 2.1 million just right there and be like, we got this? Like,
when they kicked it off too, right? Like, they were one of the first early people to build something of that class.
The first house we bought that wasn't the Airbnb in our backyard was because we were like, oh my gosh, that house is for sale by owner, and we know this beer garden is breaking down in 6 weeks, go offer full price right now. Like, we were stoked. So behind those, across the street from the beer garden, and we're like, yeah, it's a dope time. And like, but that's the risk build awesome. And everything else around. Right? So together. So that's the idea. As a whole here, not just two bars, right? 214 is a great building, office space on the second floor, cocktail bar on the second, the only accessible balcony to the public. No other Third Street property has it. That's it. Carefully, that we're accessible. Yeah, so it's customers. Everything else is private customers. Yeah, that's private. Then we have Violet opening. So, somewhere in the neighborhood below. So, have all these little pieces. So, very much looking for 214 to become its own brand. Good work by the lofts and offices, bars. I think the space is built perfectly to keep building. Right? We didn't come in with one huge budget to do it all at once. Piece at a time. Blocks are there for sure.
Yeah, you're building blocks on top of each other. So you kind of work from top down approach, right? You had the Airbnb
everything in our hands on.
Right. But I still think that downtown kind of got to the point where it was creating something else. You know, there wasn't something so lively on 3rd Street that kind of detracted you from coming here. You kind of said, let's fill an empty void and make it, re-attract people here. And so at what point did y'all come in here to 3rd Street to start looking at Violet, looking at 2nd Story, and developing the idea?
David's the driving force next.
So I knew 3rd Street was missing stuff. Like when, I like to think either in tech metaphors or finance metaphors, and it's like if you see a lot of people selling this stock, why are they selling this stock, right? Like the perceived value is lower than the actual price, but let me sell it now before it goes even lower. You saw so many people selling out, and more about that people are selling out buying. So I'm seeing these business closures, these movies, right? The addiction of what's really going on here? And I started digging in the numbers. I'm realizing downtown is about to bottom out. But when you think about more macroeconomic or just macro elements, 500 million, 400 million, 9 figures, 10 figures into the River Center. All right. 3-4 miles down, a new stadium. the train between New Orleans and Baton Rouge is a long time coming, right? But you're seeing it still be something to talk about. Like, there's too much stuff going on here. Huge investments in the Queen and the Bell, right? By outside money that's really not invested in this city.
What are they doing?
Right. Why are all of these people doubling down here, but all these small businesses, there's a gap, right? And they're trying to build more residents. It just didn't make sense. I was like, you gotta be downtown. You gotta be downtown. I was not gonna open any concept except downtown.
Welcome to the brand new Talley mobile app. We took all the same tech that's helped hundreds of people sell their homes themselves and packed it into an easy-to-use app for your phone. When you download the Talley mobile app on either the Apple or Android App Store, you'll immediately be able to see the power of this game-changing tool. From the seller's dashboard, you can navigate to all the information that you need. We intentionally separated everything into key groups, such as tasks to be completed, buyer leads for your listing, and contact information for everyone involved through closing. When you get an offer on your property, you can simply review and respond all within the app. No matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to monitor everything that's going on with your property from listed to sold. It's truly the power of Talley in the palm of your hand. Download the app and see for yourself. Talley, it's real estate reimagined.
And when I started thinking about what kills a nightclub, like a true entertainment venue, I'm like, not properly lit. Bad things happening. Most stuff that kills a nightclub doesn't happen in a nightclub. It happens outside of the nightclub in the parking lot.
The front doors are the walkway right here, the sidewalk.
I was like, well, there's not a lot of parking, so I don't have to really worry about that. It's so distributed, right?
And you're across the street from Baton Rouge Police Department.
Right.
So you hope sidewalks are going to be good, right?
Right. Allegedly. And when I was looking at spots, I was working on one further down. I don't respect the business owner, I won't say, but the second I heard about this, I was like, wait a second, there's something smarter. We don't have residents to the left or the right of us, right? This is office space.
So it's office space to the left and right. So there's nobody allegedly in the building past 5 o'clock.
Except for those people up there, right? We control that.
Yeah, I was about to say, which if, on all the Airbnb listings or,
You're
short-term
place
rentals.
that is on the party street above, before knocking the door head to get it and you want to.
Yeah, I mean, the Airbnb demographic kind of supports that theory. But I knew I had to be on 3rd Street. And then when I started thinking about what was really a gap in the Baton Rouge marketplace, which is broader, Baton Rouge is centrally located between Lafayette and New Orleans. You have people that will drive through Lafayette through us to get to New Orleans to party because we don't have a big offering here. And when I started looking at gaps, seeing the EDM, seeing how it's being applied, seeing the success, we're seeing certain festivals down there, I knew I needed a bigger space, but we're in a 4,000 square foot plus place on 3rd Street. So happens there's an office space that nobody knows about. There's so many people walking there who've been working on the street for decades, have never seen the inside of that suite provided this.
And what was Violent before? Just an office?
This office was a print shop, and then
So Violent was a print shop.
Yeah,
I thought the offices were on the second story.
Print shop since 2004.
It's a print shop in 2004. You're like, it's not making a print shop anymore.
That's the shop. That's 503. Somewhere in early 20. Before 20. And it's been about 20 years ago. And then Chad and company of utilities made it their temp office. They were in offices up back of the 2nd floor of the building. Those were pretty small. So they kind of knew what they needed to take that over until they made their move down the street. So once they were up there, which was a more of a month-to-month thing, just in the transition, that's when it was about to go on the market.
And next, what happened too is he talked about wanting to show this space, which was one moved into those upstairs bar. When I saw this one, I was like, man, you could really run an operation that really takes advantage of economies of scale. You've got, and it's a foil. You've got this huge, high energy, slinging, gunning bar Now you have this craft cocktail, sit down, enjoy outside. I call it Dracula's coffin on the inside, right? But there's drinks in the coffin, and you can actually interact with your bartender. You're not yelling over the unsa, and you can get a margarita with fresh lemon and lime juice. Downstairs, you're like, hey, I want an old fashioned with happy. Hey, sir, you can go upstairs and
You're at the wrong bar, sir.
And when I thought about it, and he had his plans for it, I was like, whoa, we could do a lot with this one. And this balcony is the ultimate part of the tree. Put them together, and I think what happened kind of snowballed. This turning into a Soho house. Like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the concept of Soho house, but they have them in a lot of big cities, but they've got a gym, they've got office space, they've got bars, they've got high-end restaurants, but it's a club for the elite. You pay a lot of money, you gotta get voted in. Turning this into a boutique hotel membership because it just there's so much ownership control of the building, staying into one unit. I started seeing that. So being able to integrate all these disparate elements into one cohesive ecosystem, it just started making sense. Going back to economies of scale under, the foundation of your downtown Baton Rouge, I was like, Tommy, as a friend, I'm not going to let you just use that as an event center. You're leaving money on the table, and it's not a good idea. So now he's got the co-working space right there. Check. We got the craft cocktail lounge, check. We got this outdoor 24/7 balcony, check. We got this neighborhood low price dive bar, check. We got this high energy upscale nightclub, got your bottle service, check. Oh, wait a second, we have 8 bars upstairs, multi-floor. Make from one building downtown that can boast that ain't works.
No, not in the capacity that y'all are. You may have somebody that's got one rooftop penthouse for one tenant, but not be able to have people come in from out of town and say, we're going to stay at here, we're going to have roomless come, and then we've got all the entertainment right beneath us. That is just unmatched within downtown or even Baton Rouge as a whole. I don't think there's anybody in the city that has the offering that we have here.
There are people that could do it if they want to, right?
They could. But what motivates them, right? Nobody's done it here yet successfully. Y'all are a few days out from opening. By the time this airs, y'all will be slinging bottles, right?
Yes.
That's the hope.
Oh, no, we're going to sling the bottles. That's happening. But I think, like you said,
shot back running 12 minutes before
you said something really powerful, like what motivates them. Yeah, it's like, I tell people, the forward line, I would ask people what they wanted. They would say faster horses. And in Baton Rouge, where you lack a lot of empirical data to make these sophisticated bets, you stick with what you know. We see multiple bar concepts that are the same. And people just swing around the rosy with it. And it really takes somebody to either really dig into the drivers or make a crazy gamble. Sometimes it's a combination of both to actually get the change that you need that starts to get other people to think about derivative change. When there are other opportunities created by change. So I think my goal with 214 is to motivate the certain people of downtown to be like, you know what? There is a market for this kind of thing. We need to invest in it because I'm not the type of guy who's worried about competition. This competition is good. Walmart and Target, they've existed and they play off each other very freaking well.
Oh, yeah.
And having more options, because see, I saw a dead poet. I'm not trying to go into tangent. This is important to me. People love that poet too much. They would come every night we were open, and eventually they would get burnt out, and they would still come. And it would put a lot of pressure on me to have to constantly reinvent the experience. And we were pretty successful at doing that for a while. But it just got really hard near the end. I need other places for the consumer to go, right? It helps make my life easier. I'm not spending loads marketing, paying tens of thousands of dollars to bring a celebrity just to walk in my club for a steroid shot for marketing. You need competition, you need elevated competition. And that's what I want to see come out of Vital. I want to see new clubs open. I want to see more money come downtown or downtown adjacent, or Midtown, Facey.
Yeah, I think the competition also brings the customers. You know, it's not just going to put you out of business because of that we're in a scarcity mindset. Baton Rouge tends to have that as a broad way of thinking is, well, I've got to get it for me. You can't necessarily have it for you. But we have to change it because there's capacity. There's capacity to make that shift from, well, you can be successful at what then I can. It's no, you can, I can, we all can. Because if we are all pushing and helping people and not trying to be in Austin, not trying to be in a different big city, and we're like, let's be Baton Rouge, because what we're good at is community. And whenever we're able to help each other, help lift each other up, then that ultimately is going to drive success for everybody. Because that's when we've been doing this show for 5 years, and the resounding theme that I've had from guests when I ask them what they love about it is the people, right? They say, we love the people here, we love the community here, we love that people are willing to help you out, even when they don't know what they're going to get back in return. And us as business owners, we have to have that mindset as well for downtown specific, because if not, it's going to continue to have the ebbs and flows and then have a burnout. You got to have people say, no, let's all go here. Let's make people feel like they're missing out when they're not down.
Yeah, I think what happens too is we have kids that, adults that move here for their graduate degree program. And I'm like, we're just going to live downtown because I don't know anything about any of the neighborhoods in Baton Rouge whatsoever. But I just know live downtown, it's going to have nice condos, there's going to be offerings, nightlife, bars, food for me. I go downtown. There are so many people in the building I live in. I just came here from Duke. I'm working an internship or externship for Judge XYZ here, though I didn't know anything. They had availability. I'm here. Because people, it's just a natural human element. Downtown has activity. Downtown is where there's energy. And we walk out here on a Sunday or Thursday night and you should have done it no one's going to hear it. That's just out of bounds. It's like that's fighting the natural law and order. And I think if people really start to put enough weight and intention behind downtown, they're going to see the natural law and order. Like, people want a successful downtown. There is nobody in the city that wants to see a downtown that fails. Not a single person. We have to tap into that.
Baton Rouge as a whole is risk averse by nature. Like, people who are here or left and came back. It's like, I joke that I wish I had more people in my circle that always have people in my circle who are playing golf 2 days a week and only go and play golf 4 days a week. It's like, how are we gonna not just want more of that? How is one day a month of nothing but kick ass and making the city awesome? Great cool experiences. I think coming out of COVID, we won't see all the full data, but I know that I had to leave to go to LA to put my hands on a camera because the camera cost $250,000 and we weren't even in HD. Yeah. Kids don't have to leave for my industry, but I can. Anything. They're scared of AI. They should be excited about AI because they could do a Spielberg caliber film with 3 other friends in a basement discovered on 2 14th Street. because you can create awesome from anywhere, and that's the field I come from. So what does that look like going for people who work remotely? So if you are from here and you want to be here, cool, come live downtown, work remote, be around everything. And I do think that this generation coming up, you don't have to be the brand. Yeah, you don't have to go, my dream is this, so let me go chase it. But I might not. Which a lot of people think is going to do. So I'm interested in that. What does it look like? What do you 25-year-olds who've chosen not to go to New York, Chicago? Where are they at? Where do they want? It's not to go live in Shenandoah.
This episode of the Patty G Show is sponsored by Genteel Apparel. Genteel Apparel is our newest clothing outfitter. We've got a great partnership with them. Head on over to the website, pattygshow.com/sponsors to learn a little bit more about them, and there's a little treat there for you when you get there. Again, this episode is brought to you by Genteel Apparel.
You said it. When I come to that neighborhood, it does feel like the lost words.
Whatever district that is, that's a Tommy Talley statement. I love every neighborhood.
Except when every house looks the same. I don't like those.
I think you talk about community being important. Why do people boomerang, right? It's some communal element. There's family here. Or I went to the big city and I saw how it's the antithesis of communities. It wasn't my speed. I made my money. I can live very comfortably in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Even a lot of people boomerang back from Baton Rouge to live in Orleans, but they're like between the two cities. So that's a power. Right? That is something that really has to be defined and tapped into and recognized. But those people, the 25-year-old that hasn't decided to leave, right? What do they want? It was like saying before, right? Ask them what they want, though. You're probably not going to get what they need. So take those gambles.
Yeah, I think they're going to give you an answer that they think that they want, and then they've heard other people are having. And say, oh, I think I want what my neighbor has, or I think I want the person in a different city has, when they don't realize what's already here, or what's being developed here, and say, no, that may not be what I thought I wanted, but I'm going to be a customer every single night that they're open.
That's not a virgin at all. I think, honestly, 3 teenage daughters for sure, every one of them should get out, go journey, go do a thing. I think that's good for anybody.
Yeah.
Kind of stresses me out working with someone who's never left Baton Rouge. Like, it's pretty convinced we're not going to completely be online with things, you know. But yeah, it's this city is way different than when I left. It used to only be Teddy's juke joint down here. I also remember an early iteration of Money being here, which would have been called Catfish Town back in the day.
Yep.
It's the first egg roll I ever had in my life.
Like Catfish Town?
Yeah, I think a little boutique little spot. To be completely wrong, I don't remember one, but I remember being Catfish Town. But yeah, that was a big thing when I was a kid. Obviously, historic, epic, massive failure, right?
But it stuck with you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, what does downtown have? What brings families down here on weekends? What brings people out on Thursday, Friday, Saturday? How do we get people here Tuesday, Wednesday? We'll just keep the people that are here, you know, get them out. I mean, in general, it's not. When you talk about, Baton Rouge, when you talk about a city constructed like this, humans have space, nice homes, can host friends, like a downtown plays a different role. A bar like this in New York plays to a space for friends to meet up because no one's got a big enough space to meet up and get their own spots. You know, just tiny little apartments. That's not the case in any cities, right? So where does downtown fit into that? What is the driving force specifically? I know that farmers market on a Saturday. My kids love it. Entirely. Start there, end to lunch, go ride bikes on the river. Just little bounces, little touch points, you know. Not using it. It's amazing. It's downtown. It's not a bad spot though. It's kind of LSU mid-city downtown.
It's part of that now that you talk about.
It's right there. And talk about a great spend. Every dollar they spend, it seems like a knock for that place is incredible.
It's not specifically is incredible. And the fact that it has people coming each and every week. Like I know my wife and her friends, we've all got kids the same age, they're there every single Friday. And it's like they're texting the night before, hey, we're going to knock, hey, we're going to knock, because it's the age of the kids that we have. And it's like, how do we have a space like that in downtown for the older crowd that may not have 2 or 3 year olds, and then say we want to have something to do on the weekends, and we want to walk from where we're looking at downtown, because we heard downtown was the place to be. And so now kind of what y'all are building here is to speak to.
So food's in the foot, and like food is in like digesting other things. So we'll see. We'll see. A lot of people have worked really they've worked hard to help make this happen. We've had support from St. James behind us. They just killed the project. They wanted to. So now I feel like I've got the responsibility of an entire church system to not screw this up. And then going back to the residents here, right, that I have a duty to the residents on 3rd Street to not mess this up with them either. But also building a healthy ecosystem so that it's healthy competition on 3rd Street. And I think all that kind of works back to it's a community. It takes something, right? this to work, and I'm really curious how it's gonna grow. The unknown unknown is not the bad. You see the killings, the difficulties, right? Safety, discipline. What's gonna happen this year, the next 3 to 5 years, that no one can really see the change or how it's gonna impact the ebbs and flows. I think there's a lot of potential, right? But that volatility you talked about, right? Yeah, a lot of volatility, there's a lot of potential. But there's a lot of potential to the downside too. So navigating that is going to be a challenge that I'm looking forward to.
So going to the design of how did that come about? You talk tech, you talk finance. I don't hear bar or club background there. We got Tommy here who's behind the camera. Like, how did the design element, the features that are in there, the wicked lighting system over the DJ booth, all the different little pieces going into play that I'm geeking out over down there. Where did that come from?
Man, I was a designer too. Did graphic design work because I've always had a pixel perfect eye. Attention to detail. When I was traveling, working in management consulting, went to a lot of clubs all over the country, and they would do something really, really well. There could be other elements that weren't, up to snuff. And when I thought about creating spaces, just for me, with past concepts at Dead Poet, it was like, let me take the best elements that I have seen from bars and clubs all over the country and put it together in the space that I'm working in. Dead Poet, I was going to existing space and tailoring it to optimize. Here, I was able to kind of build from scratch and take all the learnings that we had synthesized from Dead Poet, all that empirical data to make design choices. So something that you think is cool, I'm like, I know exactly how much square footage of bar I need relative to backspace in order to hit this amount of sales, given unlimited supply of customers. And how do you make that work in the box you're given downstairs? Design choices, you go back to the colors. We have a lot of data from Dead Poet. The way a consumer drinks the lights is completely different than the lights are red. We use citrusy versus vanilla, or what's my favorite? The one that it's patchouli. Patchouli. When you put patchouli in the air.
Patchouli.
Yes. So
what is patchouli?
You know what? You guys need to Google what patchouli is, though, and what it does to people, and think about that in a nightclub setting.
But historically speaking, it was to cover up the people on hidden, so they would spray themselves. They would cover themselves with patchouli.
Okay.
All right. Some history here.
But a lot of those design things are just based on like creating an efficient space. So the color that we use, the tile, trying to create things that don't look like them. And it's not like my index is that rude. I'm thinking, around the entire country, you don't see certain places using that tile for a bar. You see granite, you see stone, you don't see mosaic tile for a bar tile. Trying to make this in a world where we live where everything has to be Instagrammable. How do you build a space that has so many Instagrammable moments and is unique? It doesn't look like another Instagrammable spot. It's not just a neon sign. Okay. So,
you should have seen if you could just put glass over that basement.
That's
talk about Instagrammable moments.
We talk about tech, and I apologize. I've got an interview stacking up on me downstairs. But in tech, we talk about like must have, should have, could have, right? Must have. That was could have, right? Not a must have, but I've got a lot of plans. I want to have a pool in there eventually.
A pool?
Yes. It's not as crazy as it might sound. Bain in Meatpacking District, New York, they had a pool in the VIP area. Not outside, inside. In San Bain, Lebain. Look it up.
Wait, like a swimmable pool. I just want to make sure I'm understanding this clearly.
Yes, and you think no one's getting the pool, man. By the time 2 o'clock hits and that liquor is fully in their system, I'm seeing investment bankers in there, right? In their box. Yes. Most pivotal night in my life, Lebain, 2013. But
So clearly the bottom of the pool has to have fiber and neon lights. Allegedly.
We'll get there.
Thank you to our wonderful sponsor, Lake Men's Health Center with Our Lady of the Lake Physicians Group. Guys, I know it's tough to get out and go to the doctor. I know it's challenging to find time in our busy days, but I promise you, signing up to be a part of this group with Dr. Curtis Chastain and Dr. Tyler Boudreau, you won't regret it for several reasons, but most of those being the fact of the time it saves, where you're able to get in on the same day, get that appointment done, and spend that time you need to talk with them about what your health goals and concerns are, as well as ensuring that the financial investments you have, you will be able to live out and see those come to fruition. So if you're an investing guy, you know all about and planning for the future and investing in the future. There's no other more important thing to invest in than your health. Make sure you go check them out, Our Lady of the Lake Physicians Group Men's Health Center, and tell them Patty G sent you.
So second story. So we heard from David, the thought behind Violet, how one day he's going to have a cool. Will there be a cool second story? Maybe a hot tub on the balcony?
2 pools in the Airbnb portfolio. We don't need more. One of them's a house off Nicholson that's 66,000 gallons of water built in 1948 above ground.
Above ground?
Yeah.
The maintenance and upkeep on that.
It's $1,000 a month. And concrete doesn't flee right away. The Airbnb listing says that there will always be somewhere between blue and brown. Please don't be scared of the water.
Always his batteries.
And he's getting in the Titanic's when it was flipped. Shield. Yeah, but it's also people walk out there and it's like, what is this? You know, house built on old Magnolia Mound plantation land that's within the floodplain pre-levee.
Yeah.
Levee's built, land dries out, sell the land. Very wealthy camp. You can see those houses on Nicholson, all built late 40s, early 50s. Very wealthy for the time built, you know. Apparently the husband passed, the mother moved in with the kids or moved with the family. House went up for rent for sale, and as the realtor put it, became a house of repute in 1968. Which when I asked Siri what a house of repute was, it's a whorehouse.
Well,
so
thank you, Siri.
Over a whorehouse from 1968 to 75 when lawyers was. The next is which one's for someone else I guess. But yeah, that crew rocked that as their office until around COVID. I think the lead lawyer of that company who had the houses, they passed away and the family needed to do something with it. Very interesting house to buy, but most people don't know what to do with it. It's 2,800 square feet, 6 bedroom with a ginormous pool on the corner of Nicholson and McKinley. 8 blocks to the natatorium. So for me, it was like, this is a football rental house. You can sleep 24. A hurricane hits and lake trolls and linemen come in, like, we put air mattresses, move all the furniture, put air mattresses on the floor. Yeah. Pack it in for 6 months for, you know, disaster relief, crash pad. Just fascinating. I didn't realize that was the business we'd enter into. We were trying to create cool experiences. I'm like, no.
No, it's disaster relief.
Where a radius gets hit, linemen and the sorts need housing because of nowhere. Yeah. I didn't realize people 2 hour turnarounds. They're like, well, they don't want to go more and your AC works. We're sleeping in the truck, or we're staying at your place. Yeah, just in there. So, anyway, that was a little sidebar. Second story, Talley's TV is my original production company business. I created in Baton Rouge, coming back from LA. Camera guy is my trade. Falls into Echo Tango Creative. More of an ad agency, but we consider ourselves more of a creative agency. Kind of become animation design specialists, still very much focused on video. With this office opening in the last leaving hours, this isn't going to be on anymore, but actually short. Because we have an illustrator in London and an illustrator in a scattered team already, so we're already so centric and collaborating through Slack that having to have people report to the office is not necessary. But yeah, for me it was going through naming, just kind of like, because The only balcony bar is at least a or a balcony bar. It's not a balcony bar. So it's just as a storytelling entity, let's say story. One piece of data that David did bring up that I found interesting is when somewhere in the bar next door, and the old Blue Truck Thibodeau's were there for the soft movement for a few nights of that run. People kept walking and going, is the balcony? Is the balcony? The amount of humans that were going into the old Blue Truck Thibodeau's main space with the desire to have access to the second story was like, shit, this is a thing. And people love that space. Some people might not like how loungy feeling it's gone. I think it's, felt that a DJ playing loud music and slinging Miller Lights has done plenty on the streets. Let's bring the people offering. I think there's plenty of versions that about, the inside space and the balcony. Wherever we end up taking that, I think as the building is a bit of a transformer, I think the space has the ability to do that as well. I would like to host once a month, Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday movie night, like turning the couches, projector. It's where I pay for the couch, get you tickets, and that's all, just kick it, do a movie night. With balconies, Saints have an away game, LSU has an away game, TVs are on, even though we're not a TV forward space.
Right, they're still there.
Fall. TV sitting out here, watching the way there, a few cocktails, or bottomless mimosas, or whatever the time you have a class for. It's just a balcony to share with that time.
Yeah, I think that the balcony has like this environment in and of itself that just naturally makes you want to be outside. It makes you want to be on it because you get to experience what's going on downtown. We've been shooting this for an hour or so, and there's so much different activity that's happening beneath us that it's cool to just see it kind of come to life as the night goes on.
For sure. And as the weather gets better, obviously June, July, it's a little tough to get in, so I have all the fans. Yeah. Pretty soon we're going to have a more lighter. We just roll in the heater stands out here and install a full blow, because it'll flip on. So, the response has been great. It can be very event-centric as well. Christmas parties for people, for companies. Seating 100 is a little tricky. That's more of a pilot offering. But having a combined version of the main thing there with extension up here. So people who want to just get out of a louder environment that is nightlife, I think it's nice that within a short distance of a lot of the spots, this is a spot you can fall back to and walk into. Sit outside for me.
And so, what's the coupling food?
We do not have a food offering, but somewhere in case they're in this year, that's a pretty easy one. Whether we're going above and beyond, texting the team down there to run something up, or people just want to be allowed to bring food up for sure. We want DoorDash something. We don't want food. We don't want pizza boxes spread on one side. Right. Pull up side tables out here for sure. For family style, oftentimes I like things. People are white. Family style from one restaurant. Speaking of that, is the Happy Bunny. That's a big crowd. Of course, that is a lot.
It's a real big crowd. Not yet. It's the happiest running. The has been happiest running. I think stuff like that. Happy Running Club. We've got people wanting to speak more life around into 3rd Street and downtown specifically. That the 2 concepts here, 3 concepts here, 4 concepts. I think you got to keep counting out. They're just going to do incredible.
We do. As running Airbnbs, we build this for people, and that's personal choice, but our opinion. But if you give me any night out once a month, like I'm having trouble not going to the best restaurant in that. And it's tucked away off Laurel between Laurel and Main. It's like, well, I don't know that. When Cecilia first opened, coming out of IPO, early on, I wasn't so sure because I'm down here more, going out there more. Cecilia is in terms of the field and going tsunami experientially off the charts. Yeah. The offerings down here, I mean, I learned about wine from Scott and Glenn. I love being that's Thomas in Baton Rouge as well. That's Thomas too. It's unbelievable. That could be a guy who had eaten all day. He's on a second glass of wine for the first time. But it's amazing. There's a lot of great stuff down here. I love getting friends down here because, especially in the 40 plus crowd, they almost all say, I have not been downtown since. There's like a pretty big number in here. So I enjoy being here because I do have friends who are like, how do we catch up? Right? It's like, see the thing we're doing. And then it's like, let's grab that. And when I go, have you been here? I realize all the 5 things I said that I can remember. You know, when I say yes to is a little foolish because I'm like, right. But it's familiar. It's familiar. And so, yeah, it takes more Saskia and Enriquez, who are the husband and wife who run that badass thing every day. Keep it amazing staff. Like to the 9. Keep it fresh. Open on Mondays because everything else is closed down on Mondays. They close on Tuesdays for their day off. Like that's how you think about it.
Yeah. Make sure everybody's got there's an offering every day.
So, yeah, downtown is fun. It does get tiring. It's always what parking, what this, what that. It's like, you know what, you close great. It's fun. See what I see.
Go to your offices.
Go do your thing.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with everything and as y'all Violet and all this co-working space comes to life. I'm excited to see kind of the freshness of downtown as I spend more time down here. It's going to be really exciting to see everything play out. So before we get out of here, we want to ask Sally some questions. We ask every guest. I know we're on a different environment, different vibe, but we're still here to do a job, right? So the first one is, what is something you did as a kid you wish you could still do today?
Eat 4 bowls of Frosted Flakes.
I'll take it. That metabolism at such a young age, it just goes, you're going to eat it off, you know?
That's a good question. I honestly almost said run. Yeah, my knees swell so much. Like, I used to just go run 3 miles just because. Right. It's like clear the mind. This is like, that's not a thing. So,
Running Frosted Flakes.
Mountain Dew and Sega Genesis for 18 straight hours. Think your kidneys hurt you.
You just heard hearing about it, man. Not even experiencing it. Just hearing
it on your left arm with Sonic and that hard plastic controller.
Gosh.
Yes.
Oh, man. So you've had a whole life away from the second story and the Airbnb side of downtown that we'll get into in a whole different episode later down the road. But through what you've done downtown, your experience here, what are 3 lessons you've learned?
So I love meeting people. So I guess lessons learned versus starting to know myself better than before. Kind of frame it that way. I'm insanely attracted to new. If anything, friends of mine, long-time friends, can struggle with it because I'm always like, I could go out to dinner with a friend or go to a bar I hadn't seen in a while, but I know them so well that I get into a conversation with some rando at the bar, and now I'm in a 3-hour conversation because I'm so fascinated and captivated with you. I like being downtown and hosting Airbnbs because I get to meet people. New people who want to know more about my city than you're wanting to choose, and I want them to choose us. And I like that fresh take on our city. I think that in a place of 500,000 people in the pockets of this city that exists, there are people that
literally say something about downtown, but yet they haven't been here in 20 years because in the news they run it, that's what's said over and over. It just shows you. That's exhausting. But a person who just landed here from Mars doesn't know anything. That's an opportunity to create a good friend. And people who just landed here love this place. That's plenty enough. And that doesn't mean that financially downtown works without that being But I think with Walpole doing with Walpole and the residential that's here, that natural evolution, it's happening. Doesn't mean it's going to happen fast. So it's why you don't go spend $1.5 million on life. It's why you do the version that looks like $1.5 million. Right? You get it done efficiently, create a unique offering, be fearless, and be ready to adapt because you 100% can't build what you want. You have to build what the people want. So a lot of my friends will come up here in the second story and it feels like you like made a memoir, a bar called Tommy, which would be very much for you, I think. And it, sure, but also it's like, no, build something that doesn't exist, you know. I can go get a great dirty martini from a hotel bar. This is kind of becoming a hotel bar as well. It's very different. It's like the renegade boutique hotel bar, the hostel bar. Yeah. And if it doesn't work, then like, that's not scary.
Yeah, being able to pivot because you don't have the extreme overhead capital invested to make it so specifically unique where you can still say, well, let's put the couches around, let's have a movie night with family. We'll bring a popcorn machine in here and we'll have a movie out with family. You know?
And I've seen that. I think, I don't remember the movie I saw, but it was in Seattle, but across the sound in Port Townsend. And the crew I was with was super excited about their neighborhood movie theater. I was like, man, it drives me crazy. We have theaters downtown. I was like, torn down. How cool would that be? To have an OG theater that is like, lots of my customers. They have the same product, but they have a great couches and literally rent one out on their website. So I just want one. Let's see, 2 people. You get a large couch that squeeze 4 people. If you just walk it, rented the couch for a movie.
Yeah.
Like, that was incredible. It was like 18 people watching with a host who loves movies and a space to provide it. And the next night, the wedding reception was happening. That's where the real money's at. But this lady just loved her community and did a movie night on the regular. That's what people should do with their spaces.
Yeah, find different ways to adapt across various
touch points with your community. So we find out people big money night with its community. And create a space that will make sure you can pay the overhead because that's
So, what is something you love about that? Being a boomerang resident yourself and being a business owner here, heavily invested now. What's something you love about that?
I get to be a serial entrepreneur because it's a place that you can take risks because it's not overhead, not crazy. I would have never been able to do this in LA or New York. The math would require 40 to 60 hours a week of serious hourly wage type to keep the family going. This is the type of place that I could work with my 80-minute brain, bounce, take chances, play the game fearless. Big city financial pressure wouldn't allow that.
Yeah. What can I do to help?
Bring people to violent? No, let's see, what can you do to help? I mean, as this building relates, yeah, simple things. You have friends coming to town and you went up and saw the lofts, you thought they were cool. So, let them know about the lofts. Get them in the building. Point them our way. Speak about downtown positively. It's not you lie, but it seems like you feel positive about it. Anyone who challenges it weirdly, you like asking questions. Be fearless and asking tough questions that maybe someone doesn't want to clap back on at a happy hour on a Thursday, but maybe they need. So wait a second, you just said that about downtown, but when's the last time you done that?
Yeah.
Don't be surprised when they say, my first year out of college, and that was 10 years ago.
just ask for a jackass, but maybe kind of rib them a little, because I think people say it, if they really do the math, it's a pretty big thing.
Well, and that is, it's part of the dialogue that this show is intended to have, is, okay, you make that comment, you make that statement about Baton Rouge in this way, what's your experience with it, where are you getting it from? And majority of the time they say, oh, because I live it every day and that's what I see. I say, great, so what are some possibilities to resolve whatever issues you may have? Or if they say, oh, I haven't been in it for so long, it's, okay, so what are you're saying something that's out of date. Let's hop in the car and let's go down and let's see if you're
and that's the thing, you keep driving. Hey, I'm buying dinner, let's go. Let's eat for happy hour, let's do a little bounce on the show.
Yeah.
They're doing a pub, they're doing a bar crawl. Like, let's go jump in and see what's going on with the people who are making it happen. Someone's not a bad person to do that, it's human nature. And I think my wife said something probably a few months ago when we were with another couple at dinner, and it's caught on the point we got the concept. Hey, when you answered that question, we know you were referring to like 23-year-old us, right? Because do you really think that's 43-year-old touch them? No, I don't think so. Yeah, because it's the thing that comes out on someone asks something, the reply, the default. Yeah.
It's where, at what age do you get programmed for that response? Whether it was for a positive experience or a negative experience. You got programmed, that's my experience with that one thing, and it's never going to change. Even though you probably have years of experience that could change it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Or reframe. There you go. You can help not just me, but Baton Rouge, but reframing Baton Rouge to the people of Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and I think the way to do that is to kind of live by your philosophy and make awesome anywhere. I love that.
For sure.
Well, man, thanks for coming on and sitting down. Thanks for walking in your second story. It's balcony, the only balcony on 3rd Street, right?
Absolutely.
So this has been fun. I'm excited to come here and have some good times with people, man.
There will be plenty to be had, so we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, everybody else, for listening and watching. If you're in the area or maybe you want to make a trip down to Baton Rouge, I know a place you can stay. Make sure to link Tommy and all of his stuff here in the show notes as well. But yeah, y'all come downtown. If you haven't been here in a while, just come and spend an hour or two. Let it see if it will change your mind. Be experimental. The next lunch meeting, get it down here instead of somewhere else that you know and you're familiar with. Reach out and find the new. So we'll catch y'all next week on the episode of the Patty G Show. We're out.